Today on our 2010 Chevrolet Malibu, we're going to be installing the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness, part number C56027. This connector is going to give you all the lighting you need for your trailer through a 4-pole flat connector. It provides you with your left turn signal, right turn signal, tail light, and brake lamps, all the necessary required lights. It has an included dust cap on the end to keep out any dirt and debris and prevent corrosion, and also works kind of nice with your safety chain loops to hold it in place. There's no splicing required, it just plugs right into your existing tail lamp assemblies. Let's show you how to do that now. To begin the installation, you're going to need to remove the tail lights on both sides. We're here on our passenger side. We'll want to start by removing the plastic pin by unscrewing it. The pin here may have a mesh on it that separates the compartments in your trunk. Once you've got the pin removed, there'll be 2 push pins here that also need to be removed. You can do this with a screwdriver or a trim panel removal tool such as this. You want to get behind the pins and just pry outward on it. And do the same for both pins. Now we can fold the carpet down and access our tail light screws. There'll be 3 plastic nuts that go to the tail light screws. Unscrew each of those nuts and then remove your taillight assembly. Now that all 3 nuts have been removed, just pull out and disconnect the connector by pushing in on the release tab and pulling it away from the other end of the connector. Then just work it out of the little clip and set this aside. You repeat this same process on the other side. On your driver's side, the connector you just removed from your taillight will plug in to the yellow and brown circuits on your new wiring harness. You'll plug that in, and the rest of your wiring we're going to feed down through the bumper to run it over to our passenger side. To make it easier to feed it to the other side, you can use a pull wire, such as a coat hanger or a piece of airline tubing. Just slide your pull wire down through the bumper until it comes out the other side. Connect the end of your harness with the green and white wires to one end of your pull line. This can be done with some electrical tape, and it'll make it easier to feed it down through the bumper. Go ahead and work it down, guiding it and pulling on your pull wire to get it through. With our wire all the way fed through, we're going to do the same thing on our passenger side and feed our pull wire through so we can pull it back up. Next, route the wire from your driver's side over to your passenger side. When routing the wire, stay away from hot objects such as your exhaust or any moving parts. Make it so your 4-pole connector is in a suitable location where you can plug it into your trailer, and route your green and white wire all the way over to the driver's side. Connect your green and white wire to the pull wire that you just ran through on your passenger side and feed it up. Now the ground wire that was on that side you don't want to feed up, as we're going to run it to either our body panel or a bolt in our frame. There is an included self-tapping screw that can be run anywhere in the frame. Instead of drilling a new hole, we're going to use this 10mm head bolt here, sliding our ground wire over it and threading it back up. And that'll give us a solid ground to the frame. Now's a good time to double check over your wiring and make sure it's all tidied up. Anything that's loose, you want to find a nice spot for it to connect to so it doesn't rattle around or rub on anything. And make sure you clean it up all the way across. Disconnect the wire from your pull wire and plug it in to the factory harness on your passenger side. We can now put our taillights back in, plugging in the other side of your wiring harness into the taillight and sliding the screws back through the holes. Thread your plastic nuts back on. Put your carpet back into place and snap in your pins. Feed feed the carpet back up under the rubber seal. Just pull out on the lip and work it back in. And put your mesh separator nut back on. Now you can repeat this same process on the other side. Now with everything installed, we can check for proper operation. You can get a light tester such as this here at etrailer.com, or plug it up to your trailer and test out the lights to make sure everything's working properly. Here we have our left turn, right turn, brake lamps, and tail lamps. And that completes our installation of the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness, part number C56027, on our 2010 Chevrolet Malibu.